we go. Wait, take.
He's got Ben Troupe at the 15, at the 10, hurdles a man, spins to the 5. Oh my, still on his feet, still pounding to the goal line, and he's gonna score!
That's right, y'all. It's no weddings in the fall, and we are back. Apologize for missing you last week, but we got a lot of good stuff to cover, so let's get things started. The man of the hour, let's get him in. Ben Troupe, welcome to the studio, sir.
Commissioner, as always, listen, I missed you last week. We had what do we want to call it? Family issues. I would say that. It's not blaming anybody in particular, but when you got a wife, when you got kids, and you're just getting older, anything can throw off the schedule. I'm talking. It used to be a time when you was young, and you would say, "Hey, man, listen, I'm gonna do my best to make it over there with y'all." You get older, you be like, "Bro, I ain't coming." What? Nah, I ain't. He's like, you don't even try, because even if you try to lie, you like, yeah, I'll be there. Your wife will go, you who you talking to? I gotta go. Hey, I gotta go. I'll tell you. Nah, it was it make you laugh though. But I will say this: when it comes to college football, NFL football, last week did not disappoint. I'm talking about from Saturday, Sunday, craziness, top to bottom. College football playoff rankings coming out. NFL teams, half of them looking like you worth their time, and the other half you got teams losing the teams, and then you got head coaches, you got players calling for other players to be benched anonymously. But Commissioner, I am happy to be back. I saw a guy. I was driving around Saturday, and I did see a guy walking into a church, and I asked him, "Hey, bro, where you going?" And he said, "No, man, I work at the church. Like, I got to do some stuff." I said, "Well, the game about to come on. Just find you." No. Yeah, okay, because I don't want no. It wasn't no wedding party, but he was all dressed to the nines. He said, "No, I work here," and he kind of said, "Like, I work here." Like, well, you might want to go jump on Indeed or something, bro. Find you something else to do. Get out the church so we can watch these games. But it is good to be back, no doubt.
Indeed. I'm excited. All right, let's talk. Like you said, we got a lot to unpack. So let's pay the bills real quick. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a solid. Hit subscribe, like, comment, notification bell, that great stuff. We appreciate you doing that because little things are stopping you from doing it. Big things popping for us when you do. So we appreciate that. Also, don't forget, go to Underdog Fantasy. Use that promo code TROOP. We'll double that deposit up to $100 with lots of great fantasy games to play all weekend long. And if you're looking for some championship bling for your fantasy champion, look no further than Pro M Belts. All right, a lot to unwind, I guess, if you will. Let's go with the week on repeat. All right, I listed this last, but I'm going to rip this Band-Aid off because I just got to talk about it. Georgia Tech upsetting the Hurricanes. It was almost like it was about to happen at some point, but it finally happened. 28-23 Miami. I'm going to say this. A couple things I just want to say real quick. Mr. Martinez, you are not Le'Veon Bell. I seen when you run hard. I've seen you run hard. But I don't want to go on a big tangent because I do want to say I also want to give a big shout out and credit to Georgia Tech. The way they were sticking and hitting, I can understand why Mr. Martinez wasn't pulling that shoulder down, doing his normal thing and looking like Le'Veon Bell trying to dance in the backfield because they were really laying wood in that game. I was at home, I could feel the crunch. And again, Miami's, I guess, a propensity, if you will, to get behind and come back finally bit them in the butt. So I'll just say this. Great game plan by Georgia Tech. Run the football, keep Cam Ward off the field. It's basic. Hey, a la Ravens, wake up. Same deal here. Georgia Tech came up with a great game plan, was sticking it to the Hurricanes, and came out with the W. So anyway, that's my little 2 cents on that. But what'd you think of this one?
I think you make a good point though. What Miami did that they shouldn't have done on the road is don't play into the hands of Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech wanted to play smash mouth football because but they got a quarterback, Haynes King. He wanted to go out there and try to utilize his feet, but it was bound to happen at a certain point because if you are the defense, if you are the Hurricanes defense, you owe Cam Ward one. Cam Ward is like, look, man, I'm gonna give you all I got. Cam Ward seems to play really, really good when the game, is like in doubt, and he got to make a big throw. He got to make a big play with his legs or improvise. But he had to do that. Well, he didn't have to do that week one. I mean, week one, he was just out there doing what he wanted to do. But every other week after that, when he had to go and actually go back and forth, I think Georgia Tech said, look, we've seen what you guys do, so we're going to make you beat us. And obviously he made a mistake right there at the end. But I think for Miami, everybody wants to try to win every game. Let me put that out there. But I think for Miami, especially Cam Ward, you kind of go like breathe a little bit now because when you undefeated and and listen, U-Nation, if that's what they call it, Hurricane Nation was out. Cam Ward this, Cam Ward that. The funniest thing that happened with that game happened after the game. There was this dude. I don't know who this dude is. I don't know if he works for Georgia Tech, plays for. I'm pretty sure he probably had some affiliate. He had on Georgia Tech. I think he walked up to the tight end, trying to film him. Like, what's up now? That tight end. Somebody from Miami's football team grabbed his phone and threw it. Right. The crazy thing about them throwing it was somebody picks it up and go, it's film. Oh, what's up? And they just start to, that is what we love about college football and football in general. You see a flying object, oh, that's a phone. Is that an iPhone or Android? Who cares? Oh, it's recorded. Pick it up. I love that. For two reasons. One, bro, when I lose, don't talk to me. Don't put no phone in my face. Right? Number two, the wherewithal of the people who got hit to just go, I don't think they got hit. That's some great footage. I mean, I don't want to start no trends though. If I see a commercial where a phone can get thrown to somebody else and pick it up, it might be great marketing. But if you are Miami, look, you guys still the front runners in the ACC still got definitely gonna be going to Charlotte this year for the ACC championship game. But I think for Cam Ward, I still think he's one of the top candidates for the Heisman. The way he's played, Miami is not Miami without Cam Ward this year. This dude is lights out. Because the thing about it, Miami's offense is good. Miami's defense, they have their moments. It's like, dude, but shout out to Georgia Tech getting the big win. Who knows what it'll do for their recruiting and their the morale of the team. But I think for Cam Ward, he was like, all right. So now I've lost. I don't think it's gonna be no unbeaten. I think Oregon and Indiana, I think they're still unbeaten. But if you are in a good conference, it shouldn't be no undefeated teams. There are no. So the days of the undefeated teams are out. Even though Indiana said, look, they already came out and said Penn State suck, Ohio State suck. This is what the head coach said. That dude is like. Everybody's loving that dude now. But shout out to Georgia Tech. But the Canes are just one loss. Whoever plays them next, though, look out because they're gonna be looking to get some get back. But it wasn't really, really good.
Yeah. One last thing I'll say too. It's funny because you were talking about the after. I don't know if I saw it on Instagram. It was a reel. I think it was the offensive lineman. I couldn't really tell because it was one of those reels. But one of the fans rushing the field. He literally was jogging like this. The player was jogging like this. The fan come running off the field and just very nonchalantly, he just boom and bro, that lights out for that. I could not help but just crack up.
Everybody wants to go viral. I love it.
It was so nonchalant. He was just jogging off, going in the tunnel. No big deal. Boom. Good night. Anyway, all right, let's move on because, man, that was depressing. All right, so let's go to Ole Miss in Georgia. 8-10. Is it finally the QB struggles for Georgia caught up to him in this, Ben? What'd you think?
Oh, most definitely. Carson Beck they've been winning in spite of him, not always because of him. It came back to bite him on Saturday. Everybody kept saying this about Lane Kiffin. Can Lane Kiffin beat a good team? Can Lane Kiffin be the top 5 team? Can Lane Kiffin have a memorable win against a team that meet the talent threshold, aka can beat him. Check, and check. Jackson Dart, he played okay. He played okay on Saturday, but he didn't turn the ball over. Lane Kiffin is a transport. He's a portal king. If you look at I want to say today, he just flipped like a big time receiver that's supposed to go to Alabama. Now he's going to Ole Miss. There's a young man. I cannot pronounce his last name. Okay, I'm gonna say something crazy about every game. This is what was two things was crazy about Ole Miss and Georgia. Well, three. One, Ole Miss won. That was crazy. You're like, what? And it was convincingly. That's number one. There's a defensive end that plays for Ole Miss. His name is Princely. I cannot say it. It's like Uman. I cannot. It's a crazy. It's like a Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's crazy. Here's the thing though. How do you know this Princely guy? Because he went to Florida last year, right? And he transferred. Here's the thing about Princely though. He had 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 tackles for a loss. That's his stat line. Balling. Princely has 3 brothers. One name is Prince. The other one name is Prince Will, and the other one is named Princeton. So think about it. What's up, Princely? What's up, Princeton? What's up, Prince? What's up, Prince Will? It's just crazy. I got a chance to interview him. But here's the craziest thing about that game. After the game, fans want to rush the field. There is a video again of a Georgia player just out there just jumping around and going crazy with this Ole Miss. I don't know if it was a player or it was an Ole Miss enthusiast. What was crazy about it is this Georgia player is loving life. I'm like, they're like hugging each other. Now hold on. And I got to put this into context, okay? Because when I told my mom about it, the first thing she said, and I thought about it, she goes, well, what if that's his family member? Like, what if that's his brother or his cousin? I go, Mama, who can? It's like, no, it's not the fact that you celebrating. You got caught. You going right. I think that he got caught by the Georgia Tech dude with the camera. Somebody threw it. The freaking Oxford or somebody caught it. They asked Kirby Smart about this in the press conference. And Kirby Smart did what Anthony Richardson was supposed to do when they asked him why he came out the game. He lied. He said, I just saw it. You're a liar. I just saw it. No. You seen it. For real? That just happened? Yeah, Coach. I just saw it. No, you just saw what? You Coach, this is the post-game press conference. Where the hell you saw it at? Like, what? You came off the field, came here. Yeah, somebody told you? It was crazy. And that's what's crazy. And that's what's crazy about college football now is you got players who don't even know where the hell they at. Like what? Like do you know where you at? If you see the commissioner, it's like I don't know if they ain't seen each other in 10 years or I don't know. They was hugging each other, jumping up and down like they just won money just hit the slots or something. It was funny to me because let's face it, you watch college football for 2 reasons. You want to see your team win and you want to see your rivals lose. And if somebody would ask you, what do you want to see more? Because as much as you want to see your team win, you want to see your rivals lose. Because at the core of as men, at the core of us, we are petty as hell. We are petty. Like when people go, hey man, you don't kick people when they down. I'm gonna kick the hell out of them. Yeah, I am too. I'm gonna throw salt on the wound. I'm gonna be a petulant child. Yes, I am. And I'm gonna be that same person that if my team lose, I'm gonna be the person saying, really? That's what you're doing. So I'm gonna be a petulant child when they lose, and I want sympathy when my team lose, and that's how I am. I go to therapy about it. It's not working. Who cares? But I'm just saying, yes, great win for Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is definitely the one to watch as far as like coaches getting fired or gonna get fired. He's gonna be. But let me tell you something. Lane Kiffin gonna cost a lot of money. We talking about 10, 11 million easy. And think about that. In college football, you can make, 10, 11 million dollars, and you ain't never won the SEC. You ain't never won a national championship. And I'm gonna keep saying this. They pay you to leave. That is that's the greatest job. Think about this, commissioner. And listen, the team ain't doing well. You know, how do you feel about your job security? You got to stand up there and act like you care. Oh no, man. I just hope to be around. And then you look in the back, and then your agent like this. Man, look, listen. I mean, $30-40 million to leave. That's $10 million to leave. Your wife is like, "What are we gonna do, Commissioner? Go to the bank." What you talking about? They're gonna say, Commissioner. Somebody say they saw you looking at saw your wife looking at a boat or something. Yeah. We got a vacation home.
Yeah, no. My answer. If I'm getting that, I'd say, "What wife?"
You don't mean that. Let me tell you something.
I know. I said that kind of low. I was like,
"What?" We like to the point, and then when our wives say this stuff, like, "What was that? Why are you guys laughing?" That's for promotional stuff, like smart.
Indeed, my friend. Yeah, that was. We've been talking about Georgia's struggle offensively all season. So I think again, going back to finally hitting you in the and finally biting you in the rear end. That's obviously what happened to Georgia.
Carson Beck. Nope.
Yeah.
I just know.
Let's go to the big one that everyone was talking about that I was like, bruh, waited for this. Alabama 42-13. A Psycho Beta beat down LSU. Talk about it.
I think you just said, I was waiting all day for this. You got me waiting all day for this. It's one of those things that somebody wants you to really see something, right? Hey, man, I got to show you something. And then you go, what? And you look and go, this? What? Okay. Jalen Milroe, for those who don't know, okay, Shadur Sanders, he might be the best quarterback in the country, even though Cam Ward got something to say about that. Dylan Gabriel, whatever, up there with Oregon, he got all these records, right? I get it. He's done it at, UCF. He's done it at Oklahoma. He's been everywhere. The best dual threat quarterback plays for Alabama. The best dual threat plays for, you don't got to like it. Most running backs would love to have 3 touchdowns in a game, 160 yards. This dude had 194 yards and 4 touchdowns. He made it look so easy. He was, and got in the end zone and was jamming. You nice when you practicing your dances in the mirror, and then you get to do it. I thought you're supposed to get penalized when you celebrate. The refs like Jalen Milroe was dancing and looked at the ref and said, I wish you would penalize. Look, let me tell y'all something. We need to let 2019 LSU go with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. We a long ways from that. That's the last time LSU was beating Alabama convincingly. That don't happen often. Look, when I'm watching the game, Jalen Milroe said, listen, if they cannot stop me running the football, this how good Jalen Milroe was on Saturday night. The running backs was blocking for him. Like, the running backs was like, hey, man, go block. What? Go block for Jalen. Listen, 194 yards, 4 touchdowns. LSU did not have an answer at all. You know what you don't like as an offensive player is when the game is over and you score a touchdown. Like, ain't no celebration. Touchdown LSU. Brian Kelly was like, dude, and when coaches say that wasn't LSU football. Yes, hell it was. You just got beat up. It was. You got exposed, and that was an eliminator game. LSU has 3 losses. They cannot go to the college football playoff now, right? And Alabama, surprise, might not have to go to the SEC championship game, and they still get in. We already talked about that. Like, Alabama going to the SEC championship game is equivalent to Patrick Mahomes winning a regular season MVPs. They don't want that. They don't care. Like, they want to win that. So, listen, Jalen Milroe. I'm trying to think who had that song. Y'all must have forgot. Listen, whoever had it, that Jalen Milroe song. Like, y'all must have forgot, bro. You know me. I get it. Some games I just don't. You're like, what the hell going on with you, Jalen? That will be against teams from Tennessee. Lost to Tennessee, lost to Vanderbilt. He's got it right. So, but shout out to Alabama. Surprise, surprise, Alabama can play football. Somewhere Captain Ivy is just like, yeah, like Alabama is real good at football. So and I'm like you, Commissioner. I'm waiting all day, got my popcorn. Let's do it, man. Turn it off. Just
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what is? And listen, my nephew is a senior in high school right now. He's getting recruited right now. He's going to get a chance to go to college, and I be telling him all the time. I said, Jalen Miro is 6'2", 225 pounds. He plays quarterback, and he just rushed for 194 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's a regular night for him. That boy went home and ate cookies and drunk Kool-Aid and had some candy. He still eat candy. Yeah, and can do that. So shout out to the Crimson Tide. Shout out to Coach DeBoer and Brian Kelly. I don't know what LSU thought. You didn't win at all at Notre Dame. What the hell you gonna do at LSU? Nothing. Make a bunch of money though. You make a bunch of money.
Yeah, I think they stayed on the bus for that one because, they just were not prepared. We're not ready. There's no excuse to get beat like that, especially I know Alabama's good, but, to get beat down like that, that's just, they don't belong in the tournament getting beat down like that, quite frankly. All right, let's turn a page to the NFL. Let's start off with the Chiefs at Broncos because that was just fun to see anyway. I'm sitting here at home. I got a couple TVs on. The big one, if I remember correctly at the time, because I think the Eagles were at 4, so we had that one on. One of the boxes on the YouTube Sunday Ticket, and I was literally talking to my son, and we were like, well, it's finally gonna happen. The Chiefs are going down. The Broncos. Oh my God! We were all going crazy. I can't believe that just happened. 18-15 Chiefs. What'd you think?
You have one thing to do, Bill. That's it. Like, and I keep going back to the Chiefs, right? It's almost like the Chiefs go, hey, listen, we're gonna throw you guys a bone today. What do you mean? It ain't gonna be offensive fireworks. It's gonna be a back and forth affair. It's gonna be a confidence builder and booster for y'all. But here's the thing: if y'all make a mistake on the field goal, we're gonna block it. What do you mean? Y'all make a mistake, we're gonna block it. Just to show y'all, right? Just to show y'all. Just because I said we're gonna give y'all a bone don't mean. And guess what? Block, game over. It's almost like, and then all of a sudden, look at the sideline cam. Oh, look at Andy Reid. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Look at Taylor Swift. Look at Travis Kelce. You had one thing to do. Dude. And they didn't do it. But that's why Kansas City is what it is, because Kansas City, I'm going to keep saying this, we don't care. We don't care. We just want to win. I mean, think about that. You held Kansas City to 16 points, and you lost. Atlanta, you held them to 22 points, and you lost. And guess what? Atlanta lost at home against Kansas City. Denver lost at home against Kansas City. And that's why Kansas City gets on your nerves. Patrick Mahomes' house got robbed, him and Travis Kelce. If whoever robbed their house, the FBI, I don't even know we still got the FBI or CIA. They coming for you. Listen to me. Whoever said, "Hey man, let's rob Patrick Mahomes' house." What? Let's do it. They on the road. They playing. They do. You know they got cameras, right? You think they got cameras? Regular people got Ring cameras. Yeah. So I'm just. It's a Sean Payton curse. I don't know what it is about Sean Payton. I said this. I said the last time he gonna have real success is when he had Drew Brees in New Orleans. Since then, he yelling at players. Sean Payton is the same Sean Payton that said Russell Wilson can't play football no more. How's that working out in Pittsburgh? How's that working out? Anyway, that's another show for another day. Denver, you messed it up. Vegas went from saying, let's go. Uh-oh. No. Yeah. So shout out to Kansas City. Like I say, DeAndre Hopkins, he went from being a Titan to a Kansas City Chief. He went from down in the dumps to the shoot in the penthouse. So shout out to him. Shout out to them Chiefs, man. They're the only team that's undefeated. And like I say, until somebody do something about it, they will remain that way.
Almost reminiscent of those old Chicago Bulls, LA Lakers, just coasting through the regular season because they don't care, because they know that it's not. So this team is coasting and they're 9-0. Like, that's just crazy to me. Like, watch out again. But again, we'll talk a little bit. I think they might be on a NFL upset alert, if you will. I think this will be a good game coming up this week. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's go. I want to talk about real quick the 49ers at Bucks. Good game, 23-29ers. Both teams banged up, but the one thing I took away from this game, and I just wanted, it was funny because I said this to my boy as a Tampa fan, and it was only because, I got a lot of games going on, so I didn't watch. I wasn't fully watching it the whole time. But at the end of that game, I saw Baker Mayfield making all types of like superhuman plays. I'm like, who is this that I'm watching? And I texted my boy and I said, yo, if they win this game, they need to put Baker Mayfield in the MVP conversation because this Bucs team got no weapons. And this little man running out there, making little stiff arms and doing his thing. He did like a 360, didn't connect, but he did like a 360 and threw it downfield. And I'm like, ooh, wee, this dude is putting in work. This Bucs team is scrappy as anything. It's too bad they're so banged up because I'd love to see them at full strength going in these playoffs. But, be that as it may. What'd you think of that game?
I was very impressed with Baker Mayfield as well. I think, Baker Mayfield has found his home, in Tampa, and he's playing for his teammates. He's kind of looking like vintage, OU, Baker Mayfield, like out there running around trying to make plays. He's going to try to make plays with his arm, and he doesn't have all his weapons, man. We're talking about Godwin going for the season. Mike Evans is banged up, and he's still finding a way to keep him in games. I'm very impressed with Baker Mayfield as well because he's the guy that showed, look, you put me in the right system, give me a couple of dollars, you give me some help, we can be in any game. And no matter what, when you stay in the game with 49ers, even if they bang, they're still a really, really good team. They still, George Kittle and Debo and Ricky Pearsall and C-Mac is back, Purdy and Bosa. They got it top to bottom. And Baker Mayfield said, hey, man, I don't know what he said. We must have woke up feeling dangerous. That's how he was playing on Sunday. Didn't get the win, but garnered a lot of respect because I think sometimes, everybody be watching people's pockets. Once they get their money, they ain't the same player. Baker Mayfield said, look, man, I want another contract. This supposed to be contract number 3 for me. He finally got his big deal that, this offseason. But yeah, I agree. They came up short, but it wasn't because of lack of effort, and it wasn't because of lack of trying to make plays with Baker Mayfield. Shout out to him, man. I used to be a person that said, look, man, I don't think he's a bad player. He played for Cleveland. Then he went from Cleveland to Carolina. Then from Carolina, to the Rams. And then when he finally made it to Tampa, they said, okay, I might got something. So shout out to Baker Mayfield, man. Find a way to get it done. I think in a place like Tampa to where not a big media market, you could just go and be yourself in the NFC South. That's, let's face it, the NFC South and the AFC South, that's the bottom feeder conferences, the NFC and AFC. But Baker Mayfield is showing, man, he a player in this league. I scared the 49ers for a second, but, big win for the 49ers.
Yeah, and, like I said, don't beat me up too much because when I said that, and then they later, after the game was over, flashed his box score. He had 116 yards and a TD all games. I was like, oh, no. But, again, it's the scrappiness. It's the will to will this team. And I feel like this whole team rallies behind him. And that's why I said that because, like I said, making the stiff arm on Bosa and, like I said, a 360 and throws it deep. And I'm just like, wow, like he's just doing a lot of great things. So showing a lot of respect for Baker Mayfield. He's like, I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach. All right, let's go to a real quick. We don't need to talk about this too much, but the only reason I put it on here because I'm such a Jets hater. Cardinals beat down the Jets 31-6. There was so much hype about the Jets off their last week win. Going into this game, they were the favorites. Everyone was talking about, here come the Jets and Aaron Rodgers and Kyler Murray, who's, by the way, been playing great, lights out. They really took it to the Jets. What'd you think of the matchup?
No one's talking about Kyler Murray because they just expect him to look mediocre. They just expect him to be, as they say, Kyler Murray looks like a toddler running around trying to, you're trying to take the remote control from him, right? He is playing well. I think accounted for 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air. Him and Marvin Harrison Jr. got something good going on. But here's once again about the Jets. Though. Here we go with the Jets again. Jets get rid of their head coach. I want to say they changed their offensive coordinator. They add Devontae Adams. Now they reunited. It feels so good. People making one-handed touchdown catches, highlight reels. They're the Jets. I'm going to say this. This is when you know. Aaron Rodgers goes on the Pat McAfee show. He says, we're not, numerically, we're not out of it yet. And he go Pat McAfee. Yeah. And if I'm the producer, I'm like, cut, wait. What the hell you mean? Like, we mathematically, we're not out of it yet. And I'm gonna keep saying this about I'm gonna keep saying this about Aaron Rodgers. Never met him, don't know him. I think Aaron Rodgers loves media attention. Like he wants to be famous more than he wants to be. Do he want to be a good? Because he's done so much already. Super Bowl MVP, 3 or 4 time MVP. It's the Jets. Like what is it that everybody don't want to see? What is it? First is the coach. He's gone. Man, we need another receiver. There go Devontae. Oh, you won't even get a ball to Breece Hall. That's your best offensive player. Your best offensive player is Breece Hall. Don't want to give him the ball. Defense is banged up a little bit. And I get it. It's the Jets. Like, even though we're not going to talk about this game, the Giants lost to the Panthers. It's the Giants. like certain things, people like, oh, man, what's going on? I'll be like, is Brian DeBose the head coach? Yeah. Is Daniel Jones the quarterback? Yeah, they the Giants. Like, we don't got to do this. I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm not gonna say, oh, the Cowboys aren't good because Dak is out for the season. No. It's the Cowboys. Like, the only team in that, 2 teams in that division now. But I'm saying, people say the Jets got beat down. It's the Jets. Here's the thought when it comes to the Jets. Right? When you don't score touchdowns in the NFL, you're going to lose. So when people get to saying, hey, man, Aaron Rodgers is. Listen, I was born in 82. Aaron Rodgers was born in 83. Okay? All I'm saying is Aaron Rodgers is he's better than most football players, me included. I am not questioning his football, accolades. Aaron Rodgers is old as hell. He is the oldest player in the NFL. And here's the thing. Once again, I'm going to say this. When Wilson first got to the Jets, no, he's with the Jets. He come out of Ohio State. When he meets Aaron Rodgers, he calls him Mr. Rodgers. Mr. Rodgers. Call me Aaron. Mr. Rodgers. Listen. When you was in college with my dad, whoa. Yeah, my dad went to school with you. You went to Cal, right? It's like, now hold on. Now listen, that's a kid for the courage now, because you that's longevity. That's longevity. Let me tell you the difference in longevity. There is Tom Brady, Cal Ripken Jr., LeBron longevity, and there's Aaron Rodgers. And somebody asked Aaron Rodgers today, you think he'll be back for 2025? I don't see why not. Why we got to start that? Aaron Rodgers is not winning another Super Bowl. He's not going to another Super Bowl. He's the first ballot Hall of Famer. He plays for the Jets. That's
I got one quick take on the Jets, and just I know I've said it before, and I sound like that guy who just wants to run the football like I'm back playing coaching in the 90s. But the fact of the matter is, you have a team that was totally constructed to run the football and play good defense. You add Aaron Rodgers, and if anyone out there is disputing this, do me a solid. Go back and watch every game the Jets have played. Every single time, they'll be driving great, running the football. They get to the goal line, and guess what they do? Mm-hmm. They throw it. For what? So Aaron Rodgers can pad his stats? Makes no sense. And that, to me, is the biggest issue I have with the Jets. You've made this team to be this play action, run the football, play good defense. And now you bring in Aaron Rodgers, who just wants to ham it up toward the goal line. Doesn't make sense. And real quick, I wanted to also say, because you brought it up, this is the last year I ever want to see Daniel Jones on a football field. I literally watched on that game They did a flea flicker or something, and they pointed out how wide open. I think it was Malik Neighbors, in fact. I mean, he couldn't get more open, and Daniel Jones didn't even see him. He took a sack. Bro, be done. I don't even know how in the heck they didn't bench him then. I'm done watching that. All right, let's go on. We had a pretty decent matchup on Sunday night. The Lions at Texans, 26-23 Lions in a game where Jared Goff was just giving everything up to the Texans. And to give Texans credit, they look great early offensively and then started to struggle down the stretch. What'd you think of this one?
Well, something we always talk about, Commissioner. If I can play bad and we still win, that's a sign of a good team. And people going to say, well, he threw 5 picks. Yeah, but they wasn't turning into points. Right? The Lions are Kansas City in the NFC. They don't care how I look. Dan Campbell look like he got a mouthful of tobacco in his mouth. Who going to say something to him? Dan Campbell looked like he do 500 push-ups before every game, right? He come out there, the reporter scared to ask him hard questions, like, what'd you just say? No, Jared Goff had a bad game, but they won the game. C.J. Stroud is something you keep saying, Commissioner, said, I mean, they're gonna have that sophomore slump. What's going on, right? That's what they're doing. The Texans are the best team in a bad division. That's what they are. They are the best team in the AFC South. That ain't saying much. It's just not. So, and once again, no matter what, when the Texans meet a team like, the Lions, and they have, the defensive, they have like a really, really good defensive game, and then C.J. Stroud and company, we kept saying you down both of your starting receivers. Now Joe Mixon, man, he was out there looking good. Joe Mixon was looking good, but you lose the game. It's all for now. You like, hey, we won for 3.5 quarters. What happened? We lost. Yeah, we lost. So I was very, very impressed with Detroit because you knew this. You knew it was coming. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, Detroit, they'll get together." It's like they've earned our benefit of the doubt now because we've seen the last 2 years, and I'm only judging Detroit from the Dan Campbell era. I'm not talking about Barry Sanders Detroit. I'm not talking about Matthew Stafford, even Megatron Detroit. No, I'm talking about this Detroit. And this Detroit has 1 loss. They're 8-1. So, hey, and that's the thing, the Texans, you want to be a good team, you got to beat good teams. If a quarterback has 5 picks and you lose to that team, hey, that shows that you guys got a lot of work to do. And last time I checked, Kansas City, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, they're all in the AFC. You're gonna have to come through them. And then your consolation prize is teams like, Philly, Washington, Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, San Francisco. So it doesn't get easier for them, but they're gonna have to figure it out. Like I say, they're gonna win the AFC South because you got the Jags, the Titans, and the Colts in it, but that ain't saying much.
Yeah. We talked about Kansas City constantly when you just brought it up, the Lions finding ways to win. I feel like we're getting destined for a KC Lions Super Bowl. And honestly, like I can just feel myself going and buying a Lions jersey because I love watching things that Lions have never been to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Oh, it'd be so cool to see them go and win one. So yeah, I'm down with it. One quick thing before we talk about this week, I just want to shout out my boys going to LA. America's team is back 23-15, and it wasn't even really the offense. It was surprisingly the defense who played exceptionally well. And I've talked about this earlier in the year. Everyone thought, well, when Tua gets back, this offense and da-da-da. This offense struggled on that first game against the pitiful Jaguars with Tua in. So there's something fundamentally going wrong offensively that hope they can fix because that defense has been playing lights out. Give them a lot of respect to my boys. And again,
I give them respect because I think sometimes when you're a team that you had to deal with the injury bug with your starting quarterback. Anytime your starting quarterback goes out, you're gonna struggle, unless you play for the Titans, and then The backup is worse than anyway. So when you talk about Miami, they keep playing, man. Those guys they learning how to be gritty. Like the hardest thing to teach a team. I mean, let's be gritty, man. Like and let me say this: I learned a lot about Tyreek Hill. Everybody thought that Tyreek Hill was a me guy. I got to get my touches. I got to get my yards. Tyreek got that blocking. He's doing whatever they need him to do. But let me tell you what he better not do. If the reports are true that Tyreek Hill hurt himself with the celebration with Odell Beckham Jr., what the hell is going on? If Tyreek Hill cannot, you didn't hear that? They said that Tyreek and Odell, I don't know who scored. They did their little celebration, and he got head-butted and fell on the ground. Now they say he might be questionable this week. No more celebration. Not with Odell. Where the hell Odell Beckham Jr. come from?
Yeah, listen, with all due respect to Tyreek, I love you, but you injured, bro. Why are you doing a Logan Paul double clothesline is what they did, and did a little finisher and all that. Man, come on, bro. Like, I got you. Congratulations on the TD. Just get onto the pop. Just like Tua. Why are you lowering your head to tackle some dude? Just push his ass out of bounds. What's wrong with you, bro?
It is.
Stop doing dumb things.
Yeah.
Stop doing dumb things, bro.
Cam Newton in the Super Bowl. See the ball, run at the ball, don't jump on the ball.
That's it. It's easy. It's easy. We got a favorable schedule. We still got some good teams to play. Green Bay on Thanksgiving. We got 49ers at home, but then there's still a lot of cupcakes in there. So got a little shot. All right, let's talk about what we're going to watch this week. All right. Well, college football didn't really have a lot of games to pick from this week. We do have a big one, obviously, coming up. But let's go to this one I just pulled out because it is Colorado, and they're playing – Utah's playing at Colorado. What do you think of this game?
I think the U's going to have something for Colorado, but I think Colorado's on a mission. Travis Hunter, best two-way player in the country. Shadur Sanders, obviously going to be a top 10 pick. I want to see Colorado keep winning because I want the haters to keep hating. They are heated because they was like, wait a minute, Deion is winning? Yes. They got a shot to be in the play? Yes. But he coached Prime, right? Yep. Gotta have the Jerry Curl back in there? Yep. It looked wet, but it was dry. At least that's what he said. That's what he said. Listen, Shadur Sanders and Travis Hunter, they are must-see TV. When you need to play, Shadur going right to Travis. Now, the Utes, they used to be the king of the hill now. I don't even know what the hell a Ute is, but they are the Utah Utes. I don't even know what that is. But what else you going to do in Utah? Play football and watch the Jazz. That's it. That's all you're going to do. So I think it's going to be a better game. I think it's going to be a better game than people give it. People think it's going to be, but I do got Colorado coming out with a big win. They're gonna stick their winning ways because I want to see Deion Sanders in the postseason doing these postseason press conferences. Just hold the court. I like how you said, I go, hold on up. You know what I'm saying? I love Deion, man. Love Coach Brian.
Listen, I saw someone on the internet today talking about the Giants actually and said, perfect move for the Giants, fire Dayball, hire Deion, and let their first pick be Sanders. So, I mean, hello. In New York, let's go. Sign me up for that. I love to see that. All right, listen, I threw this one in there because just for you. I know LSU got the beat down, but they're gonna play your boys in Florida this week. What you think of this one?
If DJ Lagway plays, we are a different team at home. I'm gonna throw away that Texas game. It was just god awful. If we get DJ Lagway back, we get some guys healthy on defense. I think we can make a game of it. I don't know if that means we're gonna win the game because LSU is gonna come in hot, and LSU has had their way with Florida the last 3 years. Florida got to get back to the rivalry of actually winning this game. Florida is different at home. I still don't think it's going to be enough to win the game. But if we get DJ Lagway, at least we find a way to definitely stay with those guys. But if we got to help to go to that running game, we might have a shot to actually beat them LSU boys. But hopefully it's a good game. Can I have a snooze fest and a beat down 2 weeks in a row like you did last week up there in Austin?
Playing Texas and tough game to play. I think you're gonna have a little something for LSU. I know they're coming in a little banged up. I'm not banged up. Sorry, a little beat down is what I meant.
Well, both teams are. teams look at each other like, y'all all right? Like, yeah, you got a little blood right here on your jaw.
Both got to step up and prove something this week. So it'll be I think this will be a good game to watch. All right, let's go with the biggest one of the weekend. Tennessee at Georgia. What do you think of this?
I want to see if Tennessee is for real. Georgia got 2 losses already, right? Then you no longer have East or West side, so it's going to be the best 2 teams, best record. Tennessee only got 1 loss, right? And that was a hard loss, on the road against Arkansas. Nico, they quartered it out. Now there are reports that saying Nico, I call him Nico. I cannot. He's the tallest Polynesian on the planet. He like 6'7", and he's Polynesian, like craziness. There are some reports saying he might not play. If he don't play, it's gonna get that good. But I just don't. But listen, Georgia already beat the hell out of UT Austin. Is it gonna be a UT Knoxville part 2? Because Georgia's coming off a loss. Kirby Smart, he don't like the fact that people saying his team was all right this year. Thanks a lot, Carson. So I hope it's a good game. If Nico plays, it might be a good game. If he doesn't, they're gonna have their second loss of the season because Georgia gonna try to get some get back.
Yeah, definitely got to get some big get back, but we'll see if that offense can produce enough. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting game for sure. All right, let's turn the page to the NFL. Let's start with tomorrow night. Oh, my bad. I even threw that in there. What team this week in college do you find might be on the upset alert?
Ohio State. You know why? Because they do this every year. Ohio State will have a snoozer. They play in Northwestern. People like, they won't lose Northwestern. Yeah, they will. I remember not so many moons ago, Ohio State played Iowa and got the brakes beat off of them. They do this all the time. Ohio State do this all the time. Coach Day, Coach Urban Meyer, whomever there, Tressel, all these Ohio State. They'll beat the team they're supposed to beat and lose to a team like UBLA is. You look up in the third quarter, it's Northwestern 24. Like Ohio State should have lost to Nebraska, with the fake wannabe Rayoli or whatever his name is, trying to look like Patrick Mahomes. No, don't do that. But yeah, upset alert for me. And here's another one. I know it's crazy. Texas, Arkansas. That's an old school rival. That goes back to the Big 12, Texarkana type stuff.
Kate Jackson.
So Texas, Arkansas, Northwestern, Ohio State. Be on the lookout.
Okay, mark it down. We'll see what's up with that. I like it. All right, let's go to the NFL. The Thursday night delight, Eagles at Commanders. Commanders lead the overall series 89-84-5. Last year, Eagles swept 34-31 in OT and 38-31. That's 2 in a row, obviously, for the Eagles. What do you think of who wins this and why?
I like the Commanders in this for 2 reasons. One, listen, you got the youngster in Jaden Daniels. The man is dripping with swag, right? But they're going to protect him. I heard that Brian Robinson Jr. started running back for them Commanders, former Alabama Crimson Tide. I heard he's getting a heavy workload. Why? Because I heard them Eagles, they don't do too well against the run. Good defense, not a great defense, right? They don't do well against the run. Because if you just pounding them, you open up. Next thing you know, scary Terry Lawrence touchdown. You go over the top. It's gonna be hard to stop AJ Brown and Devonta Smith and those guys to go there. I get it. And you got Saquon Sagan. The guy is doing backward. I still don't know what that is. You jumped over somebody backwards. That's about as different. I would have punched you after the game. I would have told you I love you right after. I would have said, "What's up, Saquon?" I would have just hit you. Like, dude, really, dude? I got a family, bro. I'm for real. Like, how athletic do you got to be to get spun around? Oh, and just anyway, you get on my nerves. That's how athletic he is. But no, I like the Commanders in this one because I think the Commanders are trying to let the Eagles know we ain't gonna let y'all just run away from us. I know y'all done won 5 in a row. I know I'm a rookie, right? But dare I say, a current face of the NFL and Jalen Hurts is staring at a future face in Jaden Daniels. Let's go, Commanders. Let's go.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. Like I said, I don't like sleeping on the couch, so I'm definitely going to go Eagles.
Yeah, because somewhere the wife is like this. Oh, okay.
She's already actually. She just walked in the kitchen giving me the side eye. So I was like, "Yeah, Eagles." No, but seriously, I think the way the matchup sets up, I just think overall Eagles have a better team. I think Commanders' defense still lacking a little bit.
Yeah.
I do like the Eagles D a little bit more in the matchup, so I'm going to go with the Eagles. All right, let's go Ravens at Steelers. Steelers lead the series 35-25. Last year they swept the Ravens 17-10, and the second time 17-10. Crazy enough. 3 in a row that is for the Steelers. What do you think? Who wins and why?
Mike Tomlin was asked about Deontay Thompson, who used to be, star receiver, if you want to call that, for the Steelers. Right? He goes over to the Carolina Panthers, trade deadline comes. Now he's with the Ravens. They asked Mike Tomlin about Deontay. He says, "Oh, they got other players. Like that we more got to worry about. We ain't worried about Deontay. They better be worried about Travis Henry. I'm sorry, Derrick Henry. I played with Travis Henry too, former Buffalo Bill, Tennessee Vol. But Russell,
he was a big boy too, to be fair.
Yeah. Russell last name Wilson is balling. Mike Williams just got to town catching touchdown passes. George Pickens makes a circus catch every year. Pat Freiermuth, right? Darnell Washington, Najee Harris, T.J. Watt, Joey Porter Jr. The Ravens offense is the truth. The Ravens defense and secondary is god awful. It is awful. Just ask Jameis Winston. Ask Jameis Winston what he did. Marlon Humphrey and all those guys. I don't get it. Marlon Humphrey finally just came out and said, "Look, man, we winning, but it ain't because of us." Yeah, it ain't. It is y'all just thank God that they nailed on the ball because one defensive suspect, that being the Ravens, going up against Pittsburgh Steelers offense. You remember when everybody was talking about Justin Fields? Ain't nobody even talking about Justin Fields no more. Russell is the guy, at least for now. Give me them Steelers. And like I say, Patrick Queen, who used to be the starting linebacker for the Ravens, is now the starting linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll see if he shows up, but give me the Steelers.
Oscar the Grouch has a great song that says, "I love trash." And that's exactly what I think when I think of the Ravens secondary. It is absolutely garbage. But not to say Russell Wilson has been cooking, and we saw it last week, stepped up in big moments. So again, I like the Steelers as well. I agree, unless of course they get smart and start pounding that rock. But this is not going to be one of those old school, hard-hitting, big defensive games that we're used to seeing with this team. Maybe on the Steelers side, but the Ravens got definite issues with tissues on that defense. All right, let's go to the Falcons at the Broncos. Broncos lead the series 9-7. Last time they played was in 2020. Falcons won 34-27, and it's been 3 in a row for the Dirty Birds. What you think of this matchup?
If the Falcons actually decide to play defense and they got a shot to beat the Broncos, I think that what scares me about the Falcons is Kirk Cousins. Kirk, listen, we lost last week to the Saints. The Saints don't even got a coach, and you lost to them. Here's what you cannot do, and you better not do. And Commissioner, you tell me what you think about this. If it is 4th or 3rd and 7, and you throw a 5-yard route and he gets tackled, that's your fault. Don't throw past the sticks. If it's 3rd and 7, give me an 8-yard route. If it's 3rd and 8, give me a 9-yard route. I don't understand that. That's how the game ended. It's 4th and 7. Oh, he got a 4-yard route. Oh, he got 9-yard bounce. Game over. I'm looking at Kirk. I said, Kirk, listen, what do you? So for me, just make sure to just come to play 4 quarters. Bates, Simmons, Grady Jarrett, Matt Judon. Y'all just go, we got too many weapons. Too many weapons to be looking mediocre against a team that's already, made their plan for, go to Cancun. I'm talking about the Aints. But yeah, I think if the Falcons come to play for 4 quarters, they should won't be an easy win, but they should be able to get back into the winning circle.
I feel like Kirk Cousins should live down here in Orlando because he is literally one of the biggest roller coasters that I've ever seen to come. He's great, and then next week, we're going back up again, and it is down again. So, again, but I think this is the week he comes up a bit, and against a really good defense. I've really been impressed with Atlanta, and I think their defense has gone down a little bit since the start of the season, but they
stay away from Patrick Surtain.
Exactly. And that, yeah, please, Kirk, because we don't need to see another atrocious game again. All right, let's go Bengals at Chargers. This one's an interesting one. Two teams. Bengals almost the opposite of the Chiefs, where they just can't seem to win, even though they set themselves up nicely to do so. And the Chargers, I'm one of those teams that they keep winning. They lost last week, but they keep winning. But like I said, it just doesn't look that impressive. Chargers overall with the series lead 23-15. Last time they played was in 2021. The Chargers won 41-22. That'd be 3 in a row for the Chargers. So what do you think? Who wins this and why?
I think I like Cincinnati in this. I mean, obviously Justin Herbert when it comes. I think Harbaugh has done a good job, coming back to the National Football League, spending about a decade over there at Michigan. The Chargers and Cincinnati are real similar. Like they real similar as far as like how the teams go. You got two high profile quarterbacks, right? One has been to a Super Bowl, the other is making money like he's been to a Super Bowl. And Justin Herbert, Justin Herbert, he looks like, he looks like a model. He got the long hair. He's about 6'6", and then Joe Burrow got in a fight with Peroxide and lost, and then he dyed his hair back his regular color. So now he's back to his regular color. And shout out to Macaulay Culkin for actually being Joe Burrow for Halloween. That is beautiful.
That was awesome.
Beautiful. But I do think, listen, I give you two reasons why I'm gonna take Cincinnati. Jamar Chase. Who gonna deal with him? You can't. And listen, Cincinnati, you had one thing to do: pay him in our season. No, we're gonna wait. Okay. Well, in the words of Fat Joe, yesterday's price ain't today's price. They're gonna give him a blank check and say, fill it in. So give me the Bengals, though. It will be offensive fireworks, but give me the Bengals.
Yeah, I agree. I just think overall the Bengals offensively are a tad bit better than the Chargers. Although the Chargers got a great D, Bengals D. So this is pretty much a toss-up game, and the Bengals, like I said, just can't seem to find a way to win. Although one quick note to Justin Herbert, I do a lot of AI with my graphics for different shows. And man, every time I put Justin Herbert in AI, he comes out a woman. Every time. It does not matter. I don't know what I can't. There's nothing I can do for him not to look like a woman. I don't know
guys have spoken. This is what you gave us. This is what we gave you back.
It's crazy. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go to the big matchup of the weekend. Chiefs at Bills, a rematch of last year's AFC Championship. Bills lead the overall series 29-25-1. Chiefs, like I said, won last year 27-24 in the AFC Championship. But prior to that, the Bills have won 3 out of the last 4, and that loss was in OT. Who do you think wins this and why?
I like the Bills in this one. I think, once again, Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes going to be looking over, staring at Josh Allen and saying, yo, Josh, you and Joe, Burrow and maybe Lamar, y'all boys, y'all good enough to beat me in the regular season. So let me go ahead and get this regular season and loss out the way. That way people can start saying, oh, I told you. I do think Kansas City is a better team as far as like how they constructed, but I think Buffalo is built to beat Kansas City. Because like I said, I think Kansas City is like just getting through these games. Like Travis Kelce, you know what I'm saying? He got security now because he's with Taylor Swift, Kareem Hunt back in town. Then they got DeAndre Hopkins. Can't nobody block Chris Jones. I just think for Buffalo, you got to start building momentum because Kansas City gonna say, hey, bro, you're gonna see us again. So if you see us again, or when you see us again, you can throw that game plan before away. But I do once again, just like I'll be saying, no one's a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. It's not possible. But if there are 3 quarterbacks in my mind that are just as good when they're at the top of their game, one, Joe Burrow, the other one is Lamar Jackson, and the other one is Josh Allen. Give me Josh Allen in Buffalo to get a big win on Sunday.
I'm sitting here talking. I just realized I was muted. I like that too. Listen, as a Dolphins fan, it's tough for me to say it. But the Bills are like, we came into the season. I was like, oh, the Bills are going to take a step down. No digs. They've lost pieces on the defense. They ain't look like they missed a beat. That's just good coaching, period, and a good football team. And not to say the Chiefs aren't 9-0, but it's bound to happen. You're gonna lose any given Sunday at some point. I think at Buffalo, this is their time to get there. Revenge from last year, and again, we talked about just sort of good overall football team. Chiefs haven't played anyone to Buffalo's caliber, in my estimation. So that's where I feel like Buffalo is going to take this one. All right, we're going to end tonight, of course, with our Skadoop of the week. But before we get to that, don't forget to check us out Friday night. We're going to step into the future and talk about some great breakdown for your fantasy prospects. I know we're getting to the playoffs. In case you're wondering, that's Bijan Robinson all the way on the left. I got Brock Purdy next to him. I know you're like, who's that guy over there? That's Chuba Hubbard. For some reason, they made his hair off. Chuba? And Jamar Chase bringing in the futuristic look at the end there. So check us out on Friday night. We're going to break down all of Week 11 and, of course, bring you some fun fantasy stuff like we always do. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you. And tonight, before we close out, we got to hear from boy Ben with his Skadoop of the week. Let's check it out.
He's got Ben Troupe at the 15, at the 10, hurdles the man, spins to the 5. How am I? Still on his feet, still pounding to the goal line. He's going to score!
What are my beautiful people? Look, I got to get something that's on my mind, off my mind, something that's on my chest, off my chest. The Chicago Bears offense have not scored an offensive touchdown in 23 quarters. 23 quarters. That's crazy, right? Those of you doing the math, and I know I'm not trying to test your multiplication skills, right? That's almost 6 games. Almost they haven't scored an offensive touchdown. But bigger than that, they fired their offensive coordinator, right? Fired their OC. You got a bunch of players on Chicago that's going behind Caleb Williams back and they're going to the head coach and saying, we don't want him to play with us. That's clown stuff. The young man is the number 1 overall pick. He's not playing well. But to go behind his back, they had a song. The Temptations had a song back there. He'll say, smile up in your face all the time they want to take your place. Backstabbers. That is some clown stuff. Because he's too young to really call y'all out, and y'all not good enough to be calling him out. You Chicago. Y'all haven't been good, or y'all relevant because of who y'all are, not because of how y'all playing. Do yourself a favor. Play better collectively. Help that man get back to get some wins under his belt. Score an offensive touchdown, and do yourself a favor. Why are you going to a head coach that's not even going to be here in 2025? Because after this season, he's going to be gone. Because if you draft the number 1 overall and he don't work out, they get rid of 2 people. The GM and the head coach. Well, the GM picked the coach. So the coach got to go. But do yourself the greatest favor you would ever do. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. You can get married any season you want. It just better not be in the fall. This is a UBU. I'm a B Troupe. And we out.